guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are in the world. My name is Shikha and I welcome you to my channel. Mostly right now I'm speaking about INFJ tendencies and quirks because I'm really learning about that, and I'm trying to share as much wisdom as possible with you guys, or things that I've learned about myself. So I hope that you guys enjoy it and you learn from it, and hopefully you can become the best version of yourself, best version of your INFJ self as possible. In this video, I want to speak to you guys about how INFJs, as everything else in this world, fall on a spectrum, on a continuum, if you want to call it. And I really want to share this comment from a viewer called Elizabeth Styles West. And I really like the comment. I really want to share this with you guys in case all of you haven't read it. She says, the Myers-Briggs is really a continuum, so you could be close to the middle on sensing versus intuition and perceiving versus judging. Some tests are also better than others, and you might answer some questions differently depending on your mood, etc. It might be helpful to read the description of both, all of the different Myers-Briggs, and see which one you think is more of a fit for you. Now, as you guys know, I have done videos on this before because people ask me this question the most. Do you think I'm an INFJ? I've done a test, and I've gotten INFJ ones, and I've gotten INFP ones, and I've gotten INTP ones, and I'm so confused. Am I really an INFJ? I really relate to a lot of your videos, but when I do the test, it comes up INTP. So am I really an INFJ, or am I an INTP? Like, I don't know. And so you guys have tortured yourself over this question over and over and over again, and you send me these messages, and I think to myself, please stop torturing yourself over the question that does not really matter. It doesn't really matter. Really, it's a four-letter thing. Like, it really doesn't matter what you are. I've said this before, if you relate to my videos, then use that information to learn more about yourself and then move through the world in that manner. It doesn't really matter. The word INFJ is a label, really, right? I mean, some people who are INTPs perhaps will relate to some of the qualities that I speak about, and some people who are INFJs might not relate to some of the qualities that I speak about. So it's all a freaking continuum, as Elizabeth says really, really well, right? And so you will fall on the spectrum somewhere. Some people will be more sensing, some people will be more intuitive. Like for me, everyone always thinks that I'm an extrovert. And when you guys watch my videos, you probably think I'm an extrovert, right? Everyone in my life is like, no way you're an introvert. Because I have a tendency, and I know I do this, which is really weird, I know, for an introvert, but I will go up to people who are by themselves. If they are by themselves and they seem lonely and they're alone, I will go up to them and say, hey, how are you doing? Is everything all right? And all that stuff. I will voluntarily go to a stranger and talk to them. This is not the quality of an introvert, but also it is the quality of an empath, and I am an empath. So I see someone in pain, and I can't just leave them by themselves. There's no way in hell. There's this guy who lives on the bay where I live, and he's much older. I think he doesn't have a lot of money, so he spends all his money on weed and cigarettes. So he doesn't have a lot of money left over for food, and I know that he steals food. So a lot of times I'll just go up to him and I'll give him food, I know that this is not the quality, and I'll just sit and talk to him as well, because I know he's lonely as well, right? Because he's older. But, people, when they see that, they're like, you're such an extrovert, you're not an introvert. And I'm like, well, again, it's a spectrum. So I am probably more extroverted than most INFJs. I definitely fall more closer to the extrovert spectrum than the introvert spectrum. But I still need my time off. I still hate people a lot of the times. I still want to hide from them most of my days. But I can't go out and pretend to be an extrovert because my job requires it, right? And so, again, it's all a spectrum. It's all a continuum, a long, long continuum. And because there are billions of us, and there's millions of INFJs, you can imagine that not all of us are going to be exactly the same. In fact, we're going to have more differences than similarities, really, if you think about it, because there's so many of us, right? And there's so many different circumstances that you're born into. There's so many different families, family structures. You might be the oldest child, or the middle child, or the youngest child. Or, again, she said it might depend on your mood, and that's really true as well, because you might have been hanging out with an ENTP all day long, because we're chameleons, and then you will go on and do the test, and your test might come up ENTP, and you think to yourself, Ian, what? I'm not an extrovert. Well, that's because you were hanging out with an ENTP all day, and that's the reason when you do the test, it might, I'm just saying might, okay, I'm just making a really glaring example, but it might not be. Like, you might be hanging out with an INFJ all day long, and your test might come up INFJ, but you're actually an INTP. So it works either way, right? Depends on your mood, It depends on how you're answering your questions. Perhaps, you're normally an empathic person, but you had a dealing with a really, 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 really narcissistic energy vampire, and you're like, I hate all people. I don't want anything to do with them. And so when you're answering the questions, you're answering really harshly. You're like, no, I'm not an empath, right? And so that will show up in the results, right? So again, the results don't matter. The tests, as she said, some of them are good, some of them are not good. I usually recommend the 16personalities.com test. Doesn't really matter. I don't know if it's good or not. It's very short. That's why I like it. I hate long tests. And also, it's easier to convince someone to do a test when it's only 20 or 30 questions than when it's 120 questions, right? And also, more questions, I don't think it results in a better answer, because I think you get confused by the end of it and you're like, do I really do this? Do I do that? I'm not sure. So I like it shorter, just like boom, boom, boom. You just use your intuition, you answer the questions, and you get the answer. That's it. And then you refine the answer, right? Because it might turn out that the test is INTP, but as you refine it and you learn more about it and you watch my videos and you watch other people's videos and you read up on it, you realize, yeah, you know what, I don't think that's accurate. I think I'm more of an INTJ or something. You will learn more about yourself. And the tests are not the end all be all. They're not God. Even God makes mistakes, right? And so the test will and probably shall make mistakes. It is just normal. It's not accurate completely. It's not a robot. It does make mistakes. So the reason I really, really want to do this video, as always, is because I want you guys to understand that this is all theory. It's all theory. It's based on theory. It's not anything that's like set in stone. It's not like the law of gravity where it's absolutely a certainty that you will fall if you jump off a tall building. Like, that's absolutely a certainty here in this world, in this dimension, right? And so this is not a law. It's not a universal law that you are an INFJ, so you're an INFJ, so you're an INFJ for the rest of your life. No. It is just what you are in this point in time. This is just who you are at this point in time. Maybe as I evolve and as I learn more about myself, I might turn into an ENFJ, or I might turn into an ENFJ, or I might turn to something else, right? And I don't know if I was an INFJ for the entirety of my life. When I was a child, was I an INFJ? I have no idea, right? And so we will coagulate, we'll change, we're malleable people, we're very flexible as human beings. So we change as time goes on. As a mother, you might be a different Myers-Briggs personality type because you have to adapt yourself to your children. And as a single person about town, you might be a completely different Myers-Briggs personality type because you have to, again, adapt to your friends and to your job, right? So all of those factors are coming into play. Right? Don't complicate it. Don't make it more complicated than necessarily needs to be. The words themselves don't matter. The INFJ doesn't matter. The label itself doesn't matter. Don't worry about that, right? That's not the point of it. The point of all of this, all of the personality tests, all of the stuff that we're learning about, all the stuff we read on, it's to learn more about ourselves and to understand how we react to the world. It's to understand how we move through the world. Because the more you understand that, the more you're going to be able to predict it, and the more you're going to be able to understand how you should live in the world, right? If you don't understand yourself, you're not going to understand, okay, what my profession should be. What's the best profession for me? You're not going to understand that, For me, I've learned about myself and I know what I should be doing my days in my life. That makes me happy. What makes me happy is, being an entrepreneur and being on my own and working in a very flexible position where I can meet a lot of new people, blah, 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 blah. So I know all of those things, right? And when one of those criteria is not met, I know that I'm going to be unhappy. This is important information, very pertinent for me because you spend a lot of time at a profession, at a job, right? So these are the things, these are the reasons why I do these videos as well. Not only because it's cool to be an INFJ, which I don't really think it is, but it's because I want to learn more about me. I want to know, why do I do these weird things that I do in the world? Why am I doing this when it doesn't make any sense sometimes, right? Why do I run away from people who love me and want to be around me and want to hang out with me? Why do I run away from them? Well, INFJs do that. We have a problem with commitment. We have a problem with trust. And the more I learn that, the more I can be, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. If someone tells me that they love me, I'm going to hang out with them and I'm going to try as much as possible to trust them, to build trust brick by brick, right? Things like that. All of these things are going to help you, again, live in the world in a better way, where you're not running around like a chicken with its head cut off. You're actually running around or walking around like a human being, like a spiritual being, like someone who actually knows what the hell's going on with themselves, rather than all these people who are zombies, who are disconnected from their mind, bodies, and spirits, right? I hope this makes sense to you guys. Again, I really, really wanted to share this with you because, again, I loved Elizabeth's comment. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. And also I wanted to share it with you, obviously, again and again and again, because I'm still getting a lot of questions about this. Do not worry about whether you are an INFJ or not. That's not the important thing. Are you learning more about yourself with these videos? That's good. That's the only thing that really matters. Okay? All right. I hope this makes sense to you guys. Thank you again so much for watching, for listening, for subscribing. If you guys have any questions at all my contact information is in the description below. So you can email me or Facebook me or Instagram me, whatever you want. Okay? All right. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.